Well, welcome to my Formula 2 race at the Okayama circuit on iRacing. I'm just about to get away now, and as you can see, I don't really get the best start. I qualified P13, but the two guys behind managed to get ahead of me by turn 1. Something I probably need to practice a little bit more is getting better starts. So the pack's quite bunched up together, going through the first few corners. I'm just really still getting used to iRacing. I do a lot of racing in F1, and the physics and obviously handling the cars are very different. I managed to make up a place here, courtesy of the other guy losing it, or I think he may have been disconnected. So I'm just sort of following behind, just being aware of my braking points. Again, something I'm trying to get used to on iRacing, very different to F1 by Codemasters. And although the graphics on iRacing, I would say, are not as vibrant and not as high res as F1, I do actually have more enjoyment racing on iRacing. It's just something about the car just feels better in so many different ways. So coming up now, and I'm getting a little bit more confident. I'm starting to have a look at some opportunities here, but I'm also racing on the new Fanatec, the V2 wheel, the Formula V2 wheel. And one of the things I noticed on iRacing, and it only seems to be on iRacing, is if I brake heavily, as you can see there, I just literally just went in a little bit too deep and got on the gas too quickly and just spun it round. I actually thought someone tapped me from behind. One of the good things about iRacing is that you can look at the replays from different camera angles, and when I did, and afterwards I actually realised that that was all my doing, not the guy behind. But anyway, I was just saying on the V2 wheel, the new one from Fanatec, and I've got this issue where if I brake heavily and try to downshift, it doesn't always register the downshift. Now, I don't think it's a wheel problem as such, because I tested it afterwards and I couldn't replicate the problem, so I'm hoping it was just oh, that was a bit scary. You should see that in VR. Literally, you just get the whole arse end of that guy's car in my face. Yeah, I had to quickly snap it right and then come back into the corner. Had to slow right down as well. He almost collects me at the end. Yeah, so I had some issues with downshifting on a couple of the corners, which I ended up being stuck in third, which sort of slowed me down by at least a few tenths per lap. But anyway, I still had fun, and as you can see, not so much at this point where I get overtaken again, but he goes too deep, and I managed to retake the position coming out of the corner. By this part of the race, 3 or 4 of the racers had gone quite far ahead, so I think there was only about 4 or 5 of us around this sort of section of the track who were sort of battling with each other. I love the camera angles that you can play with when you're doing your highlights from iRacing. You can be as creative as you like. So I'll show you the corner. I think it's coming up in a moment, which I just had problems with every single lap, and that was, oh, there he goes again. Yeah, again in VR, that looks awesome. You can really respond quite quickly in VR as well, personally. I mean, I know some people don't like it, but for me on iRacing, it's the only way I can actually race. I've got an ultra-wide monitor, and I can have that quite close, but I just don't seem to be able to drive the car as well as I can in VR. Here's one of my, probably the easiest overtake of the race. I'm probably going to give him credit. I think he must have picked up some damage because he was just driving really slowly. along the straights there, so I'm presuming he picked up some damage. And that was it. End of the race. Finished P10.